So here's the thing. I've been trying to record this message for 3 or 4 different times, and anytime I let it sit in my phone for a little bit, I end up not uploading it because I guess I'm kind of concerned about what I would possibly say. I don't know what I'm concerned about on why I haven't uh, set up here and like actually recorded it. But this time, I'm gonna say my piece and I'm gonna just upload it before I step against it because what I'm feeling isn't changing. I've been praying and praying and praying about it, and I've been meditating on it deeply and heavily, and it all leads to exactly the same thing. And that thing that it leads to is very simple. When did serving God not be enough? I understand it's been going on for a very long time. I could be wrong. But I remember at one point, especially when I was young, if you wasn't a pastor, you really didn't care about nothing else but serving God. I grew up in a few churches, and that's all that seemed to matter in those churches was serving God. I mean, everybody wore their Sunday's best, and maybe I was too young to not understand the politics, but as I've gotten older, I turned 44. Well, there's some people that's going to hear this after I turn 44, but as of today, June 12th, I turned 44 in about a week and a half, and I've been in a separation, isolation stage and looking at some stuff online, looking at how the Christian community is going, and I get so depressed looking at the Christian community constantly argue over titles, constantly argue over positions of power, constantly argue over influence and manipulation. I get so depressed looking at men and women of God constantly go back and forth on the exact same scripture that's been interpreted a million different ways. I'm so sick and tired of seeing people more focused on their title than God. I'm so sick and tired of seeing people more focused on quote unquote prophesying than God. I'm so sick and tired of seeing people more focused on how many people they got in their church than God. I'm so sick and tired of people focused on everything else but God. And even some of the channels that I actually admire and have respect for, those channels do a lot of pointing out about what other people should be doing. And this whole Christian YouTube being a separate thing, the one thing I can agree with Corey Minor on is that he said we're all Christians and we just use YouTube as a platform. But it's so tiresome seeing all of the politics, all of the backstabbing, all of the name calling, all of the pointing fingers, all of the egos, all of the self-gratification, all of the self-righteousness. You have a whole lot of people who think they're serving God and they're just serving what God can do for them. You have a whole lot of people who really think these titles that they have matter. These titles matter to us. But I don't serve a God who cares about what title you have. That's not the Jesus I dedicated my life to. We care more about the title than God does. We care more about our positions than Jesus does. We care more about how big our ministries are than Jesus. These are things that Jesus could care less about. And I get it. Anybody can jump on here and say, how would you know? But I would at least like to believe that Jesus sees where we are now and wants us to get more concerned with the basics of being a Christian instead of everything that's going on now. It is so ridiculously tiresome seeing all this stuff happen. And for what? You have other religions and spiritualities, even though they're not going to blatantly say it. You have other religions and spiritualities who are looking at us, laughing at us. And I'm not saying if somebody does wrong, there shouldn't be correction. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you have other religions and spiritualities who are looking at us, laughing at us. You think the Nation of Islam, you think Muslims, you think Buddhists, you think all these other religions don't have bad things that's going on within their religion or their spirituality? They absolutely do. But they're not broadcasting it. They're not putting it out there for absolutely everybody to see. It's not being done for the sake of content with them. I would at least like to believe that they're handling their stuff behind closed doors like we should be. I really truly believe that God imparted this bit of wisdom in me a couple of decades ago. And I wish I had something really decent enough to show you, but I guess we can use this. You see this? This is pretty much a perfect circle, right? 360 degrees. 360 different directions. And I know some people may not understand this or consider it right, but out of these 360 degrees, they all meet up at the core. Why is it that we can't stand on those core beliefs? Why is it that we have to constantly pinpoint what's different between us and what we don't like that the other person is doing? There's some things out there that are just completely wrong. But there's some other things out there too, to where that person just may not necessarily agree with our conviction on certain things. You have somebody who may have a conviction on watching television and somebody who may not. You have somebody who may have a conviction on what they can eat and somebody who may not. Some things are literally based on a conviction that we have individually. I do believe we have a basic set of rules that we all are supposed to follow. But then after that, it's all built on our conviction. I'm convicted about entrepreneurial things that I'm supposed to be doing that I've just been too lazy to do. That may not be somebody else's testimony. I'm convicted about drinking alcohol because I've been an alcoholic. That may not be somebody else's testimony. But we're bashing people over the craziest, most ridiculous things. And there's no unity in the body. Granted, the hand doesn't operate like the foot. The mouth doesn't do what the ears do. But there's no unity in the body. We're so divided we can't even see everybody else laughing at us. And it's depressing. It's very, very, very depressing. And it makes me enjoy being in the wilderness, not tethered to any ministry, to where I can just wake up every single day and just serve God. It makes me feel very, very blessed to find other men who have the exact same mindset, to where they just want to wake up and just serve God without all the politics, without all the disagreements, without all the confusion, without all the titles, without all the prophesying, without all the speaking in tongues, without everything that gets criticized. And I'm not saying everybody's wrong for doing it, but I'm saying at some point we need to wake up and realize that we're headed in the wrong direction. And the direction that we're headed in is only going to divide us more and more and more. But it's just sad. It's really sad. It makes me not want to get on social media at all. Not even to do what I believe God has called me to do, which is just put up posts like this telling you to, man, get over all of that other nonsense and understand the difference between you following who you think God should be and who God really is. Like I said, I'm really just gonna upload this video. I'm not gonna go back and listen to it. I'm not gonna hold off on it. So it's 2:47, June 12th. And I'm gonna upload this almost immediately. That way it'll be out there and I won't have the opportunity to let doubt or anything get in the way. But come on, man, we gotta do something. Cause what's going on now with us ain't working. What's happening with us now ain't it. And whether you want to sit up here and admit it to yourself now, with a laughing stock of religion, of spirituality, of whatever you want to call it, sad to say, we are. To God be the glory. If you got something out of this, cool. If not, you didn't. But I love you, and I know Jesus does too.